Hey everybody, Eric Dorward here with the Spartan Rocketry Club, and in this video I'm going to make every effort to attempt to finish the construction phase of our Estes DARC-1 build here. So the only major bit of construction left to do is to get these fins out and to then attach them, and they go right here in these slots. So let's get started with that. I'm also going to cut this thing out right here. This is going to be an, oops, there we go. It's going to be an angle guide, so we get the angle of those fins correct when they are attached. Because we are going to be gluing this directly to the outside part of the nose cone, we're going to need to use CA glue again, and my CA glue is nearing, as seen in previous videos, the end of its service life. So hopefully I will be finishing that up, so I don't have to worry about it. I can get a new one for the next video, next construction project I do. All right, so there's a little bit of a burr there. Let's get rid of that. That is going to be used to check my angles. These, first off, I'm going to get all the burrs off as usual. So I'm going to put them together, sand, and I'm only going to take a couple passes until I get basically all the dark color off, and that's enough. Remember, the dark color is burned wood, essentially, from the laser that cut this. I might as well do the top. I mean, it won't hurt anything, but it makes it easier to match the colors, although I did slightly change the shape of the fins. Now, the other thing that needs to be done, I need my sanding block, because I do need to round these. So the instructions call to just round the leading edge. Now, this notch right down here, I'm going to have to be very careful with that, because that looks like it could break fairly easily. So I'm going to round, say, 10 times from each direction. And then check my handiwork. Sometimes you get there's a little bit of like fibrous stuff coming off there. You could brush that off with the sanding block too, but there wasn't very much, so that was perfectly fine. The middle of this here looks pretty flat still, so see if I can't round the middle a little bit more. And yeah, getting some fibers coming off of this. All right, that looks pretty good. If you want, you could round the tail edge of this too. It'd be a bit more aerodynamic, but this whole kit is not aerodynamic like at all. So if you want to do it just because it's there, go ahead. But ultimately, it's not going to make a whole lot of difference. All right, again, looks like the same kind of thing happened. I got kind of the down here and up here, but not the middle. It happens with some regularity. That looks better. And just looking down, I can see they're basically rounded. So that takes care of that. Sanding block can go away. Now, the next thing that I need to do is I need to make sure that these can actually fit in through the slots. So I'm going to test fit them all. And it's entirely possible they will not. And this one, it doesn't. It's got two issues. One, the slot it's not quite long enough, and it's not quite wide enough. So to deal with this, I'm just going to shave a little bit. First, I'm going to worry about the sides, and again, a little bit, not a lot here. So I'm going to go slowly, and notice where my left hand is this time, well up out of the danger zone. Okay. Well, let's try it and see how it goes, because this is a process that we'd rather do slowly than all at once. All right, so it needs a little bit more. I need to shave a little bit more off the top for width, and I'm gonna work on the other side of it. So I did the side facing me the first time. I'm gonna take a little bit off the side facing away from me, or side that is away. It's not really facing away. All right. I'm also, because I didn't really do a whole lot about the how deep this was, because it wasn't long enough either. I'm going to try to scrape a little bit more out of there. All right, trying again. All right, that looks good. And if you'll notice, it's flush with the back, so that's charming and lovely and perfect. This one, same issues. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to just slowly remove a bit. I'm going to get some plastic curly cues. This one actually, I'm not sure why, but it appears that I didn't quite get, this one wasn't as wide as the other one either. Let's try it now. So the width is pretty good, but the length is not. There's a little bit of a burr in there that might contribute. I also, this is a little more dangerous. I prefer not to hold it this way, but I am keeping my left hand well out of harm's way, and I'm not cutting toward it this time. I'm hoping that was enough. Sheathe the knife here for a moment. Try it again. And all right, fits. Okay, so both of these, I'm just going to put them both in just to make sure, like this one isn't thicker for whatever reason. All right, so they're going to go like that. That's great. I'm going to get my knife out of here, and I'm going to try to get rid of some of this crud that I just generated. All right, now this little piece here I'm going to use to test my angle. It's going to go like something like this, I guess, into the slot to make sure I'm getting the angle right. And yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to push this fairly hard. It doesn't look like it's going to be straight, just going straight out. Now, this part is going to be somewhat, well, maybe not as fun as it could be. In order for this to work, I need to crazy glue it, or CA glue it. So here's my CA glue. As usual, I need to make sure that my bottle is open, and that looks pretty good. Now, typically we would glue on the underside of this thing, but that's actually not what we're going to do this time, because there's nothing for it to grab onto. So instead, what the instructions tell us to do is put a thin layer of CA glue just kind of along the edge that's going to go inside. So I'm going to use just a little bit here. We are actually going to reinforce this later. All right. So get it all lined up, push it in. So there's still a good amount of wobble here, which is a good thing, at least for now. Because I do need to, excuse me, I do need to check the angle here, but it's going to be kind of hard to do. Oops. Wow, this is still kind of flopping around. So that looks pretty good. I just don't want to glue this piece here into my fin. That would be most unfortunate. All right, so that's firmed up a bit. The last part where we're going to get a little bit extra strength is we're going to flip this over and we're going to kind of put a fillet. It's not really a fillet, but I don't know what else to call it. We're going to apply some of this glue on the underside here. Like so. Hopefully that will add some extra strength to this, because there's not really a lot holding this in place. So that looks pretty good. There's no exposed glue here, so I guess there's no harm in moving on to, oops, the next bit. Yeah, I took a little notch out of this. That's kind of unfortunate. Let's just make sure this fits smoothly again. Yeah, it's all right. Okay, so same deal. Ooh, that was a lot of glue. A lot of glue. I saw it kind of ooze out when I did that. Let's check our angles. I feel like I squished this one a little bit. Should be all right. Same deal here. Looks pretty reasonable. What I do need to do, though, is I can see there's a little bit of a glue bead here, and I actually feel it on my finger because it kind of leaked a little bit down onto me. I've got a little bit of glue right there. It's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. It's like dried instantly. So that's fine. Checking the angle once more just to make sure that it's about right. And then I will add the extra layer of glue to the underside for this one as well. Okay. All right, so that takes care of the gluing for this. And I'm not entirely sure if I need the CA anymore. I don't in this video, at least. But I have a feeling I don't need it anymore in this kit. All right, now I've got 2 pieces of measurement scrap. They can get chucked. I've got my landing gear. That's going to go in the nose cone where the launch lug is. But the launch lug is actually the last thing that I'm going to worry about right now. And for a variety of reasons, I'm going to don my cut-resistant glove for this last bit. So, putting on my offhand here, my non-knife hand. The last thing that needs to be done is I need to get rid of the excess launch lug here. And this, I don't know, this isn't going to be particularly pretty, I think, is the short version. Because I did put CA glue along the edge of this thing. So I might end up cutting through a bit of CA. CA doesn't cut particularly well. Right. So I'm just running my knife along the kind of space frame, the body of this. Just make sure I don't cut that. That would be unfortunate. Okay, some of it's come off. Okay, all right, that's the bulk of it. Now I just want to smooth out anything that's kind of left over. So I'm just going to run the blade along the nose cone here and try to scrape off any excess, anything that's kind of hanging out here. Because I want this smooth. All right, that's probably pretty good. However, I definitely need to make sure that a launch rod can use this, because let's put the knife away. Yeah. Anyway, the way that this is going to go together, I guess I can show that now. The bottom part is going to go in like this, and it fits directly over top of the tube in there. The top fin here is going to get kind of lodged just like this. This is like the stopping point. So that's going to fit together like that. All these are going to end up tied together, and they're going to get shoved in this container here along with the parachute. And that's why there's a slot here, because all the cords are going to get dumped in through the slot. But the launch lug is going to just ride just a little bit beyond this body tube, and it needs to go smoothly out this hole. So I'm going to start painting it next, essentially, or working on the finishing, to say the least. But before any of that happens, I'm going to go downstairs and find my launch rod, and I'm going to see if I can settle. I don't really need this part, I guess, but I'm going to see if I've cut enough out of this so it smoothly goes up and down on the launch rod. Because, of course, if it doesn't, then I got a problem. Overall, I mean, I don't entirely know. I feel like the bottom might need to be, because there's a blob of CA glue down here. I might need to sand that off or just shave it some more with a hobby knife. I'm not entirely sure. But that doesn't need to happen right now. So that's the construction phase. I guess the next thing to do is to work on the fins to get them ready for painting. Painting this is going to be interesting. All right, so thanks for watching. I guess that'll work. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.